Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about Peninsular Plateau, which is an important physical feature of India's landmass. Plateau is a highland with a flat top. Plateau is a highland with a flat top. Okay, beta? Little bit height when we compare to the plains and have a flat surface. Such type of plateau is a highland with a flat top, and it is named as a peninsular plateau. Why it is named as a peninsular plateau? Because India's southern part is surrounded by seas on three sides. Seas on three sides. India's southern area is surrounded by seas on three sides. That's why it is known as a peninsular plateau. Okay, peninsular plateau is divided into two divisions. Mainly Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. Mainly Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. Central Highlands are again divided into Malwa Plateau and Chota Nagpur Plateau. Malwa Plateau and Chota Nagpur Plateau. So actually we have three plateaus in India: Deccan Plateau, Malwa Plateau, Chota Nagpur Plateau. But Malwa and Chota Nagpur are very small. They together called as a Central Highlands. So Malwa and Chota Nagpur plateaus combinedly called as a Central Highlands. Another one is Deccan Plateau. Okay. And if you come to the plateau important features, it is composed of rocks. When we compare with the plains like Indo-Gangetic plains are having alluvial soil, soft soil, which is good for growing crops. But here the plateau region, peninsular plateau region, is composed of metamorphic and igneous rocks. Once upon a time, some millions years ago, lava was erupted from the volcanoes and later cooled down over the millions of years, and such type of hard igneous and metamorphic rocks with that one layer, hard layer was formed. That is only present what we are seeing the plateau region. So composed of hard rocks, and soil, if you observe, block soil. Which soil is present, beta? Black soil. One specialty we have to the plateau, that minerals are found here. Okay, important minerals are found in the plateau region. Particularly, Chota Nagpur plateau is very rich in minerals. Okay, and the Deccan plateau is tilted towards east. The rivers in southern peninsular area will flow towards east and join in Bay of Bengal. Okay. Here only rainy season water we can see in Godavari and Krishna, not in all seasons. So they are not perennial rivers. Godavari, Krishna, Mahanadi, whatever we take, no perennial rivers are found. That's why it is a dry region. So the people, how they do their activities of agriculture means they depend on tube wells or tanks. Particularly Telangana, our region Telangana, tanks are stored with rainwater that is useful for agriculture purpose, for irrigating agriculture fields. So they depend on tube wells and tanks in this region. Because of no perennial rivers are found in this plateau region, dry region it is. Okay, beta. Next, southernmost tip of plateau. This plateau southernmost ending point is Kanyakumari. Southernmost tip of plateau. I am saying only plateau, but in examination point of view, they will ask you southernmost tip of India. All over India, including islands, if you observe, Indira Point is the southernmost tip of India. Indira Point in Andaman Nicobar Islands, southernmost ending point is Indira. Southernmost tip of plateau is Kanyakumari. Okay. Next, if you observe the map, okay, already I said divisions: Central Highlands, Deccan Plateau. Central Highlands are divided into Malwa and Chota Nagpur. You can see here, this is a Malwa Plateau. This is a Chota Nagpur Plateau. Both are combinedly called as Central Highlands. Malwa, Chota Nagpur. Both are combinedly called as Central Highlands. That below you have Deccan Plateau, triangular shaped area in the peninsular region. Between these you have Narmada River. It shows Narmada River. Narmada River is dividing the Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. And Deccan Plateau, northern edges we have Satpura Ranges. Deccan Plateau northern edges are surrounded by Satpura Ranges. Narmada below Satpura Ranges. Okay. Next, here northeastern edges are having Kaimur and Mahadev Hills. to the Deccan Plateau. Next, west side edge is Western Ghats. West side edge is Western Ghats, continuous mountains we have. East side edge to the Deccan Plateau is Eastern Ghats. East side edge is Eastern Ghats. So Deccan Plateau is surrounded by hills. You can observe here Satpura Hills, Mahadeva and Kaimuru Hills. Western Ghats, continuous mountains are hills. Eastern Ghats, all sides Deccan Plateau is surrounded by hills. Okay, and these Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats both meet at one place in Tamil Nadu called Neelagiris, Neelagiri Hills. Western and Eastern Ghats meet at Neelagiris. Okay, so in examination point of view, they will ask you regularly in exams difference between Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats are parallel to the west coast. Parallel means equal to the west coast. Next, they are continuous. They are continuous without any gaps. Mountain after mountain, continuous range of mountains. Next, higher than the Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. If you take average height, 2000 meters height such type of you have. Next, they are extended from Gujarat to Maharashtra area to Kerala. If you observe 1600 kilometers extension you have of Western Ghats. Next, Western and Eastern Ghats meets at Neelagiris I said. So Neelagiris comes into Western Ghats only actually. So in the Neelagiris, it is a combination of hills. One hill name is Dodabetta. Dodabetta is the highest peak in Neelagiris. In objective you may get Dodabetta is the highest peak in Neelagiris. Only Neelagiris, Dodabetta is the highest peak. In Western Ghats, highest peak is Anaimudi. In Western Ghats, highest peak is Anaimudi, which is in Kerala. Highest peak in Western Ghats is Anaimudi, which is in Kerala. Okay. Neelagiris, highest peak is Dodabetta. Okay. Neelagiris are in the Western Ghats. Anaimudi is in Annamalai Hills of Kerala. Okay. That also comes into Western Ghats. Next, Neelagiri is having a hill station called Ooty. Ooty is a hill station which is cool even in summer. So you may ask for map pointing. If they ask, you have to locate Neelagiris here in Tamil Nadu, and at the same place Ooty or Udaka Mandalam. It is known as Udaka Mandalam also. You can locate here. Other hills, if you observe, Palani Hills, Cardamom Hills. Cardamom Hills, particularly in Kerala. Next, rivers originate in this Western Ghats. Godavari, Krishna originate in the Western Ghats. Godavari originates at Nasik Trayambak in the Western Ghats. Krishna originates at Mahabaleshwar in the Western Ghats. So Western Ghats are the originating places of some rivers. Okay. Next, Eastern Ghats, if you compare. Western Ghats, how they are parallel to the west coast, in the same way, Eastern Ghats are also parallel to the east coast. And they starts from Mahanadi Valley and ends at Neelagiris. Eastern Ghats starts at Mahanadi Valley and ends at Neelagiris. I already said Western Ghats are continuous, but Eastern Ghats are not continuous. Eastern Ghats are not continuous mountains. They have gaps due to the rivers flowing in that particular area. Means rivers cut that mountains and passes through that area and ends into the ocean. Due to that, Eastern Ghats having gaps. Okay? Continuous are Western Ghats, not continuous are Eastern Ghats. And height, more height is Western Ghats, less height is Eastern Ghats. And Eastern Ghats average height is just 900 meters, Western 2000 meters height, I already said. If you observe in that Anaimudi is the highest peak in Western. In the same way, Aroma Kunda at Chintapalli in Andhra Pradesh is the highest peak in Eastern Ghats. There are other hills if you observe. Nallamala Hills, Palas, Sheshachalam, which we have famous center, pilgrim center, Tirupati, Edukondalu we say. So Sheshachalam Kundalu, Palakundalu, Nallamala Kundalu hills, those comes into this Eastern Ghats. So simple difference between Eastern and Western Ghats. They are continuous. Western Ghats are continuous. Eastern are not continuous. Rivers originate in the Western Ghats, but rivers will not originate in this Eastern Ghats. Next, highest peak is Anaimudi in the Western Ghats. Aroma Konda is the highest peak in the Eastern Ghats. Okay, like this, they are parallel to the west coast. These are parallel to the east coast. Like this, differences you can write easily in the examination point of view. But overall, this is the topic of Peninsular Plateau. Finally, plateau is surrounded by seas on three sides. That's why it is called peninsular plateau. It is divided into two parts, Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. Central Highlands are divided into Malwa and Chota Nagpur Plateau. It is made of igneous and metamorphic rocks, hard lava land. Next, it is tilted towards east. Next, minerals are found, particularly Chota Nagpur Plateau is rich in minerals. It is dry land because not perennial rivers here. Next, they depend on tube wells and tanks here for agriculture purpose. Southernmost tip of plateau is Kanyakumari. Black soil is found. Okay, and these are the differences between Western and Eastern Ghats.